This video contains spoilers for the Adventure Time Distant Lands episode Together Again, so please watch at your own risk. Thank you, and enjoy. Hello everybody, this is Kirby over yonder, and Tiffany's most recent appearance in Together Again has made me think about his character more than I ever have before. Tiffany only appears in a select few episodes from the original series, but after binge-watching all of his episodes back-to-back, I think I've noticed an interesting theme throughout Tiffany's arc in the show. So, let's discuss Tiffany. Back before the start of the series, Jake used to be a part of a gang consisting of Gareth, the Flying Lettuce Brothers, and of course, Tiffany. They would go around robbing banks and generally just commit a ton of crimes. You know, before Jake knew it was wrong. But despite the gang not being together for years and Jake no longer wanting to associate with Tiffany, Tiffany still views himself as Jake's best friend. Even wanting to kill Finn for quote-unquote stealing Jake and softening him up. This is called Codependency. Tiffany built his entire identity around being Jake's best friend and hating Finn, and because of that was never able to grow into his own person. He's so obsessed with things just being like old times that he never really gained his own identity. Meanwhile, Jake learned that what he did was wrong and grew into a better and more well-rounded person who actually tries to help people. Whereas Tiffany stays the same and expects Jake to stay the same as well. In Season 6's Dentist, Tiffany and Finn are tasked with slaying a bunch of giant worms in order to have their teeth repaired. And despite Tiffany's initial hatred towards Finn, the two actually end up making a pretty good team. But when it comes down to it, when Finn's life is in danger, Tiffany doesn't save him. Granted, he doesn't actively try to kill him either, but he couldn't save him all because of this false narrative he came up with about Finn changing Jake, and that with Finn gone, Jake would just go back to his gangster phase. This ultimately leads to Tiffany's own downfall as he gets eaten by the worm instead of Finn. The next time we see Tiffany is in Season 8's Preboot, in which he initially seems to have improved. He's no longer obsessed with being Jake's friend, nor does he want to kill Finn anymore. And he has a solid job as Dr. Gross's assistant, meaning he's most likely not interested in crime anymore. However, he is completely complacent when Dr. Gross paralyzes Finn, Jake, and Susan in an attempt to control them. And while Tiffany did end up saving the trio at the end, that was only after she threatened to take their lives. So while Tiffany certainly is a better person now than he used to be, he still has quite a bit of self-improving to do. He still has codependent tendencies, except instead of being codependent on Jake, he's codependent on Dr. Gross, blindly just doing whatever she says, again, up until she tries to kill Finn, Jake, and Susan. However, up until Together Again, that would be the last time Tiffany appeared, save for a cameo in Come Along With Me. And while it's great that he finally did something good in the end, he never quite let go of those codependent tendencies. And that's where we enter his role in Together Again. Much like in Preboot, Together Again shows Tiffany in a very different role, this time as one of New Death's henchmen. And once again, Tiffany seems to identify himself solely based off of this role. While Tiffany does act nice towards Finn at first, the moment Finn accidentally gets him fired, he swears vengeance against him, and sinks back into his old attitude of wanting to be Jake's best friend. Meaning that for his entire life, Tiffany never really let go of his obsession with Jake, which, when you think about it, is actually pretty sad. While it's definitely understandable for Tiffany to be upset after losing his job, the way he fixates on it instead of trying to find something new to fulfill him really isn't healthy, especially when New Death was shown to most likely be at least a little abusive towards him. And while Tiffany does eventually turn on New Death, that's only after Jake expresses a disliking towards him. But hey, it's definitely a step in the right direction. Here's hoping that Joshua and Margaret can help set Tiffany on the right path. I admit, before Together Again, I never particularly cared for Tiffany as a character. It's not that I ever disliked him, I just never really found him to be all that interesting. But after Together Again, I think I have a newfound sense of appreciation for his character. I've kind of fallen in love with just how overly dramatic he is about everything. And his overarching theme of codependency is definitely interesting. For a character who doesn't appear very much, he definitely leaves an impact. Plus, you just gotta love his voice. But with that said, please let me know how you feel about Tiffany as a character in the comments. Thank you, and have a good day. Kirby out.